Okay, so erector mass, still bone moving muscle. Simply this. Often, depending on what happens when you push. So you see this, okay? So either I'm pushing too hard and too fast, or it's just that she moves a lot. So you see how it's much, much, much slower, and her pelvis is not rocking anymore. So this is fine for addressing the soft tissue of the erector mass perpendicular to fiber direction. If I wanted a still muscle and moving bone, I have options for leverage, especially when I'm in the lumbar region. I can use the pelvis itself. You will find in textbooks this, right? Like kind of like a reach around type deal. My hand is like this because I really am not a fan of going to the ASIS in prone. I'm just not a fan of it. You can just use the sacrum essentially as a handle. And you see, you would agree, like obviously the camera's not going to catch this, but you would agree that this works really good. I can kind of do whatever the heck I want just here. Now, if I use the leg as leverage, some people will say it's very powerful leverage for the lumbar column and for the erector mass. So if I use the leg on the same side, does it connect at all? Look how far I moved your leg. This isn't doing a damn thing, right? If I use the leg on the same side, that does actually more, but it doesn't necessarily kind of get into the tissue. Your body moves more, but it doesn't really work. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not working. So interestingly, at least in prone, great handle, right? Really good. I can kind of do whatever I want. You can use oscillation if you want, and you just got to get a reasonable rhythm, right? Is this the right rhythm?
No.
This rhythm's okay. Right? It just is more in tune. Are you comfortable laying on your back? Flip on over. I swear there's a pillow somewhere in here. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So with respect to being in supine, the anatomy that I'm working on is not exposed. It is not free to move in the plane or planes required. It is not visible. So as far as the heuristics for choosing patient position, this violates them all. However, there will be times when somebody can only be in supine. So essentially, you're going to be here, you're going to grab, you're going to push, pull. Really, more often, you're going to pull. You can do that. Now, on her, just the way that she happens to be built, I can slide my hand right under. So,
Low back go like this.
Yeah, especially when your legs are straight. Like this is, some people you can do this, other people you can't. So it's just here, right? Now, let's just say, it's kind of this spot, yeah? Mm-hmm. Okay, so if I use your leg, so bend your leg, right, to try to connect. Nothing, right? I obviously could stand for this less than before. Let the leg down. Let the leg down. Gotcha. Now I can connect. So what ends up happening is that the pelvis will actually be a really, really good handle in many situations to be able to mobilize. So you have a still muscle because you're holding the muscle on some form of tension, reasonable tension, and then you can mobilize the pelvis. Now in supine, I would really rather use the same side. Not a problem necessarily, but very easily to be misinterpreted as a problem, right? So I just won't do that. So it's, and then the concept being that if I get up into the thoracic region, there are times when the shoulder girdle may be more appropriate, but the lumbar column, like really the pelvis and the vertebral column, you get a lot of good movement if you need to get into the erector mass from that.